Hello friends and enemies. Welcome to the Amazing Readathon vlog. So first things first, I'm actually kicking this off now because it's the day before the Faceoff weekend and I've been reading things that count for the readathon in other videos. So I thought I would take you through everything I've read so far that counts and like give you my updates. I made fun little graphics. So for New York City, I netted my team. Let me open up my spreadsheet. Anyways, New York City was our first stop of the trip. We went from anywhere to New York City. And on that leg of the trip, I read Kushil's Dart, which was 902 pages, but I'd already read about 30 of them, which netted my team 1,744 points, plus the 200 points for the detour. So I'm thrilled about this. I think this was a great pick for me to kick off the readathon with. I had to read it for podcast anyways, so we did. Then we started our next leg of the trip to get to Mexico City, and I read a lot because the prompt was beautiful cover. And let me tell you, that is so easy to fulfill that I ended up netting the team, here we go, 2,640 points. So I read Role Playing as my main book to travel there, and then I finished Death's Obsession, which I'd only read about 20% of before before this prompt even dropped. And then I read Boss Bride Days volumes 2 through 6, and then Matcha Made in Heavens volumes 3 through 5. And next thing I knew, we were on our way to Sao Paulo, and I chose to, it was a prompt as 3 people on the cover, and I'll talk over this graphic. So I read Witchlings, completed the detour, read Yakuza Fiancé 4, and I also read I'm a Wolf But My Boss is a Sheep, as well as the Tea Dragon Tapestry, which netted our team at 1,300 points, and I'm pretty happy with that. And now we are in London, and the kickoff, the Faceoff weekend is happening. So I have finished Part of Your World, which is getting my team 600 points. And then I have some manga picked out and some other things to read because the prompt is retelling. So I will be reading those and I'll update you on those, but I'm going to fully cover the Faceoff weekend here in this vlog. So I plan to read a lot of manga. I'm going to do my first spin here and I'll record that for you and we're going to go from there. I'm really excited. It's been hard to break up this vlog correctly because I have so many things I'm reading that cross over into the readathon. So fingers crossed this works. But it should be fine. We should be good. So I will be back to talk to y'all soon. I read a total of 15 books for the Faceoff weekend, which was great, and I'm really proud of myself. A lot of manga, of course, because I do love my manga. I read The Titan's Bride Volume 2, which I gave 4 stars to. I really enjoyed this continuation of the story. I really like Titan's Bride. I think it's one that's not going to work for a lot of people, but it super duper works for me, so I always have a good time with it. It follows a high schooler who basically gets transported to another world and to marry this Titan, this like giant guy. It's fully explicit on page, I will tell you. And I do mean fully explicit on page. So that was a fun time. I also read volume 1 of My Happy Marriage, the manga, and I'm already obsessed with My Happy Marriage. I cannot wait to read more of this series. Shay is sending me volume 2 because I could not find it locally. So I'm waiting on that, which sucks, but it's fine. I'm going to read the light novels in the meantime, I think. Then I read Flying Witch volumes 1 through 4. These are on KU and Comixology Unlimited. It's like an 11-book series, so I've not finished it, but the first 4 volumes are really cute. It's very slice of life, very fun, about this girl who moves to her cousin's house to start training to be a witch, and I just think it's really like that cute magical slice of life vibes, which I'm here for. And then I read Toilet Bound Hanako-kun volume 1. This I enjoyed a lot. I'm giving it 4 stars as well. I think this is one of those ones that I don't think I would have picked it up without the readathon because I've just been unsure about what it is. And it's basically a weird paranormal kind of romancy high school book. I would say there's like undertones of like a lot of crushes, and our toilet bound Hanako decides to like entrap this girl basically to be his helper, and it's very silly and very fun. So I'm honestly loving that element of it a lot. And I think it works really well overall for the story. So I'm happy to have read it. And I'm excited to hopefully pick up some more volumes. Then I read Wolf Girl and Black Prince Volume 1, which I'm giving 2 stars. I did not like this. Our heroine in this is such a doormat to this hero in the effort of like not looking weird to her friends and like she's lying about her boyfriend. And he is so mean to her. And I don't know how I'm supposed to root for him. Because like I can root for a mean hero, but like this is not working for me in any capacity. I also read I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss, Volume 1, and I really liked this. It was a bad choice for this readathon, though, because it is one of the wordier mangas. So, like, there are some mangas that are really, really wordy, and there's some that are less wordy, and this is one of the higher-end, like, word count on page ones, which I didn't dislike, because I really liked the story. But when I'm trying to read as much as I can in a short period of time, didn't work as well. But I also give that 4 stars. I thought Volume 1 was really fun. I love how she's like wormed her way into this villain's life and it's just like making this happen so she doesn't get killed in the world. And I think it's really fun. It's an isekai, not an isekai. Yeah, it's an isekai where she like wakes up in the game she's been playing basically. And we follow her journey of figuring out like she's in the villain's body and what can she remember and how can she avoid what's happening. And then I read volumes 1 through 3 of Our Fake Marriage. I've been trying to get through a lot of my digital manga is what you'll notice is the trend here. And I loved this series. This is not going to work for everyone either. This is basically 2 childhood friends. He convinces her to be his fake wife, so women stop hitting on him. But he's also very jealous and possessive when other men talk to her. And anything that could be condoned is like that, he gets very possessive about. And I loved it. I already have a couple more volumes checked out for my library that I'll be reading in my regular weekly vlogs. They'll count for some prompts, I'm sure, but I'm not sightseeing in this vlog yet. We will sightsee at the end of the month in this vlog, but this would be too long if I sightseed, if I did my sightseeing here as well. So yeah, I really, really liked this. I'm very excited for the rest of the series. I don't know the last time I read a digital and was like, I need more immediately. Well, I do know. It was Boss Bride Days and Matcha Made in Heaven, but like it's been a while since I've read an older digital and was like absolutely need this. And then I read Asahi Senpai's Favorite Volume 1, which I'm also giving 4 stars. This is a brother's friend. He sees her, they see each other in the bathroom like kind of undressed, and he just kind of starts bothering her at school and almost puts a target on her back in a way because she talks to him and he talks to her and they're like dating kind of. This one I'm curious about that I would probably pick up a couple more volumes of it digitally to try and see what I think, especially if I get it from a library. I would be more willing to pick it up, but it's pretty cute. It's definitely kind of like, it was like a 3 for me. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like amazing. Good enough, like I said, to maybe try a few more volumes. Then I did also read Vampire Dormitory Volume 7, and I really enjoyed this one as well. This is a continuation of one of the series that I've just really been enjoying overall, and this is about a girl who disguises herself as a boy and ends up living in a dorm with a bunch of other boys, one of which is like the future prince of vampires, and it's their relationship / journey to be together. This one was really cute, continued to be fun, another really quick digestible read. And then last, I did read Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone finally. This is just a quick audible original novella. I think you can now also get it as an ebook. I liked this. I think this was really fun. I think this was really enjoyable. I was really fun. So the setup of this is that basically they're on a customer service call together for like 8 hours. And then there are some reveals about him and her and who they are to each other almost in a way that they didn't know. Basically like some people they know them, like each of them individually, but it follows her journey of like launching her business, which is like Date in a Box, and it was just really cute and sweet, and I truly enjoyed this immensely. All right, that's everything. And now on to Rome. So our prompt dropped Wednesday night after the Faceoff, and we are off to Rome, y'all. And I am reading Fourth Wing for Rome. So because I'm reading Fourth Wing, I will net my team about 1,292 points. When I finish, I'm currently 40% through Fourth Wing. Yeah, I have 3 hours and 28 minutes left in my audiobook. I'm at 41%. My initial like thoughts on Fourth Wing, I started it literally the night the prompt dropped. I listened to a chapter. Just like get myself ready to go the next day. And then Monday was wildly busy. So I didn't get as much audio time in as I wanted, but I listened to obviously 40%. I was hoping to finish it yesterday, but I had my hair done. So that took a long time like to get my color in particular done. You'll have already seen it in other videos if you're not new here, but yeah, so I was getting my hair colored And I wanted to make sure I, got through more of the books. When I got home that night, I sat and listened to like 40%. I basically didn't want to go to bed last night. I wanted to read this book. And I gotta say, like, I am glad I'm reading this book finally. I've been kind of putting it off due to the hype. And I was like, well, this is kind of the perfect prompt for me to read it because our prompt is something romantic or with romantic subplot. So I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to say this. It's basic. Like, it's a very basic fantasy romance. And that is not a bad thing. That is not an insult to this book or to anyone who loves it. It is literally just bare bones, like the basics of the, like, I know it's not post-apocalyptic, but like post-apocalyptic, like Hunger Games, Divergent-esque, but adulted up more book. And like, that's fun to read, right? Like, that's not a bad thing. That's fun to read. So I'm enjoying it immensely. Like, for those reasons alone, like, I was up late last night listening to it. Like, I didn't want to go to bed because I was like, this is really fun. As we're like doing a bunch of trials. I'm not going to spoil it here extensively, but like, it's just kind of fun. And I do enjoy how much they doubt Violet to an extent. I do. I think it's fun watching a character who has disability and is out here like killing it on these challenges that like technically she shouldn't be as good at as she is if like we're gonna believe things, and I also really like how she ends up basically thinking one thing and it's not what she thinks for this crush she has. Like, I think that's a very real thing. Like, I feel like we've all had that moment in our lives. Maybe we haven't, I don't know, but yeah, it's basic and like not a bad way, not in a bad way. So that's where I'm at with Fourth Wing. I will be back later tonight to tell you all about it when I finish, because I have to run errands today, and that's the plan, is to listen to Fourth Wing the whole time. I'll talk to y'all soon. Hello. So I am packing for Stimulant, which you'll have seen that vlog already. If you haven't, you can go watch it. But I finished Fourth Wing earlier this afternoon while I was getting just the last of the stuff I needed together. And I realized I would love to import footage, so I wanted to update you now. I finished Fourth Wing. So I've made it to Rome officially. I also completed the detour in which I recommended to eat pizza while you read Fourth Wing, because it's fun. Like, it is truly a fun book. But when I say that, I also mean don't expect a lot. Like, and that's not a bad thing. It's just like, it is what it is. Like, it is a fun, tropey fantasy romance. It's a good beginner fantasy romance. It's fun time. You're gonna have fun when you read it, but that doesn't mean you have to like devour it. Like, I think you need to go in with like not low, but like middle expectations. Don't expect like your all-time favorite read necessarily out of it. You might, but I think it's just one of those books that was really fun. I'm giving it a 4. I really did have a blast reading it, and I'm really curious to see what I think of it overall as I continue on. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we've made it to Rome. I'm gonna read some more romances. I will talk about those in my regular weekly vlog until we get our next prompt. So I will see y'all very soon. Hello. So I fast forwarded through Santorini because I did not have a book for a prompt, like to fit this prompt at all. And because like I was on my trip to Stimulant, like it was not working for my brain. So we fast forwarded. And now we are on our way to Cairo, and I read Zara for this one. I really liked Zara. I had started it earlier in the readathon, and this was like the perfect opportunity to return to it because it was a book set in the past and it's like a historical setting. So Zara was a fantastic YA fantasy romance-esque vibe happening here. It has like Sailor Moon inspo, which you can see pretty clearly on the page. It also had just like so much goodness. It was just so good. I loved reading this book. It was a great book for most of my first flight back. I devoured it. Like, I feel like I blew through this. So if you're looking for a fun fantasy book where like they're kind of assembling the team to make the Guardians of Dawn happen again, / like the people who have the powers, this was fantastic. I truly had a blast with it, and I think they did just such a good job. I loved our characters. I loved our little romance. Like, it had just all the little things I love in a fantasy romance for the young adult age group. And it felt like something I would have loved as a young adult. So, enjoyed this immensely. Here are my points.
Now, from Cairo to Beijing, I read Love in the Time of Serial Killers, this one right here, and I read 2 manga to hit my, like, to just get a little sightseeing in. I generally try to, like, do it all in one go, but that did not work. So I read The Love in the Time of Serial Killers. This is a script prompt, so a novel is in a script font. This was fun. I was really surprised by this. This is one, again, that I also had started on the romance prompt, I think, and I'd wanted to read this author for Steamy Lit, and I didn't finish it in time, but I really enjoyed it for the most part. I think it's a little bit of one of those books that's either, like, gonna super work for you or it's not gonna work for you at all. And overall, it was a fun time. I think our heroine was really grappling with a lot of things, and we followed her, like, process of that through decluttering her now dead dad's house, and also the neighbor that she is convinced is someone like a serial killer. And I loved the, like, there's a lot of, like, zany, quirky things that happen in this, but they also felt, you know, when, like, a book does a thing to, like, be quirky, it felt like that, but at the same time not that. I hope that makes sense. Like, it didn't feel, like, overly forced. It felt like kind of realistic, zany, and quirky, not like, I'm just so weird, quirky, if that makes any sense. But yeah, this was really fun. I quite enjoyed it. I think I'm giving it, like, a 4-star right now. And then I did sightseeing with volumes 2 and 3 of My Happy Marriage, the manga. So I got my points in for that. Here is my total points. And now we are on our way to Tokyo. This prompt is a book with a destination or direction in the title. So I am reading On the Edge by Ilona Andrews because the edge is the town and where they live. So I feel like it counts. I don't feel like I'm stretching that prompt at all. So for this one, I am almost done with this book and I'm really enjoying it. I think this is another great kickoff to an Ilona Andrews series. They write such fun urban fantasy paranormals. I've yet to find one I dislike, really. So yeah, I'm having a blast with this. I'm 83% in, so I will be done with this in just a few minutes. Not literally, but, like, very easily this afternoon. So I'm really enjoying this overall. I think this has been a fun one. This follows Rose, who's taking care of her 2 younger brothers, and Declan, who shows up and is, like, of noble blood and from the weird. And he's, like, trying to romance her, and it's really quite fun so far. Like, very, very fun so far. So yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. I think that's it right now. I will be back when I finish this to update you and give you, like, my points total. And then I'm going to try and sightsee with a couple manga I have that fit this prompt. We'll see what I manage. That'll be in my regular vlog though. Okay, so I wasn't going to update you my pajamas and from bed, but you're getting a bed update because I just finished listening to The Children of Fallen Gods. And so most of this book, I was like, eh. And then by the end, I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So, oh shit is how I feel about this one. Oh shit. I thoroughly impressed. Listen, I get why people were like, this is how you write a fantasy book. I like fantasy romance. This is like amazing. Because, like, literally throughout a lot of it, because we get a third POV in this one, I was just like, whatever. And then the reveals about that POV picked me up a lot and carried me further into the story. And now I'm like, well, could I finish this, like, second book before the end of the readathon? Probably not. So I'm gonna read it next month maybe, the third book. Can I finish the third book before the readathon ends? Probably could try, but I don't think I'm going to. But I did really like this. I really, really liked it. I'm gonna give it a 4. I think this is just, like, a fun, solid fantasy romance. It definitely has more plot than a lot of them do, and I like that. This one does suffer from middle book syndrome though, still. Like, I mean, if it didn't, I would be stunned, right? But it 100% suffers from middle book syndrome. And like I said, I had moments where I was just like, I'm kind of bored. Not bored enough to DNF it, because I kind of wanted to see how the story ended. So I'm glad I didn't, because like I said, by the end, I'm very intrigued. So I'm gonna give it a 4 right now, maybe a 3.5.
but I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm very curious to see where it goes. So I will be working on that review probably tomorrow. But yeah, that's where we're at. This is the last leg. So my next step for this leg is to probably just marathon 10 volumes of Yona of the Dawn. I have a live show Saturday and I need to finish them before the live. So I've got 2 days to do that. And I think I can do that. And I also have 2 more volumes of Kakuryurio. My brain does not want to say that word. I have volume 6 and 7 of that to read, so I might try and read that as well. And I also have like some of Something's Wrong With Us. Like, we've got options to pick up that are genre blend mangas through the end of the month. So we'll see where I end up, what I end up reading. I'm excited though. I definitely plan to pick up at least 10 volumes of manga before the end. I would like to put up a lot of points this round. Like, this last little round is the final push for the red team, but we'll see what I manage. So tentatively I've read just so many books this month. I think we're going to be at like 60-ish, so it's wild. But yeah, I will be back to talk to y'all about whatever else I read for this and to like close this out, because this is going to go up before we know who won the readathon. Like, we'll know on Sunday. And I think my sightseeing, the rest of it will be in my regular weekly vlog because I need content for that. But yeah, I think this was a fun one to end the readathon with. So, I don't know, maybe I'll actually finish another series this year. We'll see. Yeah, this has just been a blast. But I'll give you like more thoughts tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. I'll give you more thoughts on Thursday. When the readathon's closing out more, like it's the last day. And then this vlog's going to go up Friday, I decided. So yeah, I'll give you like my final thoughts on the readathon and like, you know, all of my reading tomorrow night. And final update of points and GRC and all that stuff. And I'll show you my spreadsheet. But we'll do that tomorrow, or we'll do that Thursday. And I will talk to y'all very soon. I have lip product on in my coffee. We're here to close out this vlog because it's supposed to go up today. So literally, good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you're watching this, I don't know how long it's going to take to process, but I'm here. So, my foam is attacking me, but it's fine. Anyways, I'm here. I finished 5 volumes of Yona total in the last 2 days, which is totally fine. I am feeling not burnt out on reading, which is wild considering how much I read. I read a total of 52 books, I realized, for this, which is just banana pants. I've got like final stats for you and stuff that'll play right after I'm done talking here, and show all the books I read. But yeah, I had to read 2 books that did not count for any of the prompts total this month. So I'm at like 54-ish books, I think. Something like that. So yeah, I had quite the reading month. This was so much fun. I am really excited to see how it evolves next year and what changes happen. I just think this was such a good time. I loved my red team. Y'all were bomb. I loved all our hosts. You guys were amazing. Brianna, thank you so much for putting this on. But yeah, I had so much fun with this. I cannot believe how much I read. I did want to read like 10 volumes, but I just honestly did not feel good the last few days, so I just said that's fine, we're gonna read what we read, which was 5 volumes, and that's still a win. But yeah, I cannot believe this is over. This felt like a whirlwind, and now I need a break. I haven't done a month-long readathon in a while, in case you didn't realize. Like, I don't usually do these besides 30 and 30 because I get too stressed out. But I think the way this one was formatted worked really well for me at the end of the day, and I think it just worked nicely as a like getting prompts every couple days and having some different adjustments to it. But yeah, I had so much freaking fun. I hope y'all had fun. I hope you enjoyed watching all the things I read. If you made it this far, let me know if you participated in your favorite thing you read for the readathon. And if you didn't participate, still let me know your favorite book from September from August. You still let me know your favorite book from August. I will obviously be back with my August stats and highs and lows like Tuesday. You get Romancelandia Sunday, so get ready. If you don't want to tell me any of those things, you can leave me your favorite fall emoji because we are pretending it is fall here. It is September. We are like, I'm getting ready to get out Halloween decorations, which I wanted to do in August. I just didn't have time. So yeah, we're just gonna imagine it is like 65 and breezy all day to like 70 because that's the dream. That's the dream. So yeah, I will be back to talk to you in my next video, and I will have links to all the books I talked about down below for you, as well as like
anything else I need to link to? I don't think that's it, but I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we